I'm trying to gather my thoughts into formulating how I want to say this because a lot of things are running in my mind. I think, first of all, I need to tell you that I have picked no side. I've finished episode 10 of Tokyo Ghoul Season 2. Of course, it was disheartening to see what happened to Yoshimura, the manager of Anteku. Right. In a way of I have become a little bit attached to him. Now, was there any part of me screaming a sense of justice for what has happened to him in this episode? Well, of course, it's inevitable. I am human, and I do carry emotions, and I did. I did, in fact, wanted somebody to come in and tear apart those people, a new ass, a new asshole. I did. Of course, I tried to go into this episode a little bit more emotionally inept, should I say. I didn't want to carry any kind of emotion going into this episode, instead looking at this as if it was just a part of history. I was I was letting myself not be not be indulged in this story and with the characters. But there is the human side of me, and I'm saying human, right? Not in the show. I don't mean human in the sense of the show, right? I'm not saying human because I side with the humans in the show, nor do I side with ghouls for that matter. Inevitably, you do end up, depending on how you watch this anime or how you felt about this anime, you will end up having some sort of connection to the characters. Even for someone like me, who I said I wasn't emotionally as attached to these characters, watching everything unfold in episode 10, I have come to the conclusion, and I have come into a conclusion. I do not have any remorse for anyone in this fucking world. I really don't. All I wish for is the end of the world of Tokyo Ghoul. I don't mean the end of the story, I meant the end of all of them, both humanity and ghouls. Wipe them out of the face of the earth. Of course, that's just my emotional side, letting myself become a little bit too indulged with it. Of course, I'd go and go down the boring route of oh, I felt bad for them. Oh, I wanted somebody to save them, or oh, I wanted I wanted Yoshimura to be saved, or I wanted revenge to be enacted, and blah 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 blah. I could do that. I could do that every time. I could do it. That isn't new to me. I've been doing that ever since I've been watching anime. But all I ask for is the end of the world of Tokyo Ghoul, to wipe out humanity and ghouls alike, to erase them off the face of Earth. Of course, it's never going to happen. I sort of knew that. I'm simply going off my emotions. I'm simply going off everything that I've experienced, everything that I've thought of, everything that I've felt. I'm simply going off that. I don't. You might think, do I hate any of the characters? Dislike any of the characters? Well, only in the moment. Only in the moment I did. I'll hate somebody and then I'll lean towards them for a little bit. I'll like them, and then the next I'll like another person, and then I'll start to hate them in the next, and then I have I have no emotional connections with any one of them. I will be as frank to you that I did want for Kaneki to how do I say this? Become some kind of judge. But that was just my part, hoping that there was some form of revenge against them. I mean, I find it this not disrespectful, but it felt like I was being spat on my face when not a single person was killed in that whole fight between the owl and the rest of them. Not a single one. Now you could say, well, maybe he was just holding himself back. Maybe he didn't want to kill. Well, I can't really explain the tens and hundreds of people that he's already killed when he was on the streets. So I just find it so disrespectful that not he couldn't even injure one of them. So fucking disrespectful. And I've already told you I don't have any sides in this story. I don't have any sides in this story. I don't I really don't. But all of this was because of how the world of Tokyo Ghoul works. I think I've already stressed that so much during the first season. The only reason why a lot of them act like this, think like this, is because of the world that they live in. If ghouls never existed, if Kaneki was just a human, if Yoshimura was just a human, if all of them were just humans, they all would have lived normal lives. But because they aren't, they're ghouls, they live completely different lives. And so it just ends up happening is, I mean, who would you prefer to stand with? If you've seen any of everything that I've talked about in season 1, I told you that there will never be a middle ground in a world like Tokyo Ghoul. Absolutely, there will never be. I think everyone has experienced one negative thing after the other from both sides. Someone good could be born out of that situation, but they will also inevitably die. Maybe I wanted to get some kind of ultimatum, and I sort of did. Initially, I thought it would have been Kaneki. I thought Kaneki would have jumped in. He was able to save Irumi and Koma. And I was already talking to myself. My human and emotional side was talking to myself. Might as well save Yoshimura. Might as well save him. Might as well help him out. Of course, I knew that side was illogical. I knew that side was never going to be possible. And he ends up dying. Yoshimura ends up dying. I'm not going to talk about in terms of, well, he only wanted a peaceful life. No one in the world of Tokyo Ghoul has had a peaceful life. Even people like Hide or Yoriko, they have had their own experiences. Maybe some of them have done wrong in the eyes of the other in their past. Or maybe someone has done wrong now in the present moment because of their decisions, because they decided to go down that path. It's funny how it ends up becoming, it's all right to have flaws, it's all right to have mistakes, it's all right to have these sins. Is it really though? Is it really when you've taken the life of somebody? I don't think so. I don't think so. I never wanted to be the judge of someone else's life. I think no matter how much I hated somebody or someone, I'll give you an example. Maybe somebody has done something horrible and I've seen it on the internet. Do I wish death upon them? Who am I to judge? Who am I to judge? The only way for me to be satisfied with their fate is if they get punishment, some kind of system like a jail, prison, these sort of systems. It gives you a sense of it removes a lot of things from your mind, right? So instead of you stooping as low as them, hoping that they die, because they would have done the same. They would have done the same. So the least you could do to change as a person is to realize what you're saying, to realize what you've thought of, and to reflect and ponder on it. But I guess maybe for a bit I've lost myself in the show. I mean, a bit is an understatement. I think I've definitely lost myself. I've been emotionally detached. I was out of it for the majority of season 2, and I felt to myself that I wanted to get into the story and act like it was all history. I wanted to treat it like I was learning something. I was learning people's lives, and it's normal to be attached with them because you see what happens to them. And it's not hard for a human being to imagine themselves in a situation like so. You develop connections with these people, varying degrees, of course. But if I look past that, there's only one thing I can say. And I do hope that humans and ghouls alike are both wiped out. I really do. I don't look anymore at good and evil. I don't look anymore about good and evil. I don't. Good people, bad people, because there aren't any. There really isn't. It's only people who have done harm against another because of varying reasons. There will always be varying reasons. There will always be something to explain. They did this because of that, or they're doing this because of that. They act like this because of that. They're willing to do this because of that. They're going as far to give away their morals because of that. And then when the future comes back to them, bites them, and they all have varying emotions and reactions to it. Some accept it, some don't want to. I am tired. Okay. The world of Tokyo Ghoul is a very, very tiring story. It really is. I don't want to, make videos like this and say, oh, Tokyo Ghoul was good. Such a good anime. Well written characters. I don't give a fuck about that bullshit anymore, bro. I want to look at them as if they were humans. I want to look at this story as if this was a part of our history. I let myself get indulged in these worlds no matter how shit they are. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I think I can get something out of it. Maybe there's some sort of lesson from it. Fucking lesson. Is it is it crazy if I say that when I saw the owl's son come into the scene and there's an implication that he slices Shinohara and he dies? Is it insane for me to feel elated after seeing that? Euphoric, even? I like Shinohara. But seeing the owl's son and the implication that he was sliced, possibly his head was taken off, I think for a moment, just for a tiny bit, I was happy. I don't ever want to wish death on anyone in the real world. Now, would you say that Shinohara deserved it? Would you ask me that, well, did you think Shinohara deserved it? Yes, because I'll continue to lie to myself to justify those thoughts and actions.